Welcome to this tutorial on topic Basic Part Modeling. I will explain the task BPM9, the armature part. You have to create a model of this armature. This requires two extrusions in different directions. One here with a thickness of 10 millimeters and one here on the right with a thickness of only 8 millimeters. And please note that there is also an axis called axis 1 required to give the distance between this axis and center of the hole here on the right with 110 millimeters. Okay, so I switch to SolidWorks and open a new part file, okay. And first I want to check the unit system. It should be millimeter, gram and second. I will start with an extrusion. So in the Feature Command Manager tab, I select directly Extruded Boss Base. The first message here in the Property Manager is that you have to select a plane on which to sketch. So therefore I take in this case, the top plane. And to have a fine structure for designing, I prefer to start with some center lines. Take it from the sketch tab, line, center line. I start in the origin point, create a center line, press escape and then enter to open the command again. Then I start with the next center line in the endpoint of my first and create one to the right side. Again escape and enter. Again starting in the endpoint of line 1. One center line to the left side and escape. I want to add some relations. Therefore I select center line 2, center line 3 and I want to set them equal. Okay, fine so far. Confirm. I need these center lines to fix the center points of the radius in sketch number 1. I will start with a center point arc, the first one here in the origin, and I will do it proportional to my given outline. Next one, I take a 3-point arc, starting here, and fix it this way. Again a center point arc, and another center point arc starting here. Okay, a 3-point arc to close this gap between, and to close the complete outline sketch I take a line starting here and close the sketch with clicking here in the end point of this arc. You see the sketch is closed, and now I want to start with setting relations. So I select from the Sketch tab, Add Relation. Line number 4 is still selected, so I add this arc in the selected entities, and I want to set these both entities tangent. And that's what I'm going to do for all entities in my sketch. I set them tangent. This one should be tangent. Also here. And here it's still tangent. Okay, what can we do more? These 3 arcs and this one should be equal. So I select arc number 5. Arc number 4 is selected, so I add this one and also this one. And all 3 arcs should be equal. Here we are. And also these 2 arcs. This one, it's arc 5. Yes, and arc 2, they also should be equal. That's fine so far. Then I confirm. And now I start with Smart Dimension. First I want to give the distance between the center of these 2 arcs with 50 mm, and the distance between these arcs should also be 50. Okay. Now it's very interesting. You can see that the construction lines are fully defined with these 2 dimensions. Okay. Next one. I give the dimensions for one of the 3 equal arcs with 18 millimeters. Okay, you see all others will directly follow. And then there is one dimension missing. The radius for this one, and this one should be 80. And with this last dimension you see that the sketch is fully defined. So I confirm here to close the dialog, and then I exit sketch. But stop, we want to do something more. I directly add 3 circles here in my sketch. One in this center, the second here, and the third one here. Close this dialog, and I directly add a relation. Arc 8, this one here is selected, so I select this one and also this one and set them equal. So, and now I only need one more dimension. The radius for these holes should be 12, or the diameter 12. And now I exit the sketch. You see it's fully defined. And I go directly back to my Boss Extrude. And here you will see in this preview I only have to give the height. 10 millimeters should be fine. So I confirm, and the first extrusion is done so far. Now the second one. Before I start with the second extrusion in the other direction, I first want to add these axes we need for giving the distance. So in the Feature tab, I take Axis, and when there's any cylindrical surface to define it, then it's very easy to do. I select the surface, and here you see the preview in yellow color so that you can directly confirm. Here it is, axis 1. The second extrusion I like to do in the same way, so I take the Extruded Boss Base command from the Features tab, and here I select from the design tree the right plane to sketch on it, and here I start with a line. Here I do it also proportional like in the other outline sketch, so I start here until end point of extrusion 1, go down, and then I create a line in horizontal way to the right side. I add a center point arc anywhere here in this way. Then I pick this 3-point arc, start in the end point of my last arc, and close my sketch here in the first point with a fine radius. You see, with this last arc, my sketch is closed. I confirm this dialog, and now I go to the Sketch tab and add some relations. Some relations are automatically given. You see this one, this point, the starting point is coincident to the upper plane of my extrusion 1. The first line is horizontal, the second is vertical, then again a horizontal line. These points here from the end and starting points from the lines are coincident. That's fine so far. So I like to add some relations. I'm starting with tangential, so arc number 2 is still selected. I select also this one and that both tangent. Here it is. Same I will do here for this horizontal line, and for arc number 1 they should also be tangent, and there must be one more tangent relation, and therefore I pick these big radius and these horizontal line, and also they should be tangent. Okay. Then I will confirm here and start with Smart Dimension. So the radius here in the end should be 22. This large one must be 125. And now the distance between center point here on the right and the axis we designed before must be 110. So I select my axis from the design tree and the center point and give a distance of 110 millimeters. Okay, as you see with this last dimension, my outline is fully defined, and now I will directly add the circle here inside. Therefore I take from the sketch tab the circle command, center based, start here, do it in this way, and add directly a dimension, and the diameter of this circle should be 20. It's fully defined, so I can exit the sketch so that I go back directly to my Boss Extrude Property Manager, and now I will rotate a little bit so that you are able to see what I want to select. You see in the moment the extrusion is blind in this direction with a thickness of 10 millimeters, but instead of doing it blind, I prefer in this way to do it with mid-plane. See the result. Thickness should be 8. Fine so far. I confirm, and like you see, this armature is done so far. That's all for task BPM9. Thanks for your attention.